Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming podcast. Today is the 19th November of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be one of your two hosts for the evening. The other host is Tygergamer. Hey Tiger, how are you doing?
Doing excellent. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I did hurt my nose yesterday a little bit. I had some stuff fall on my head, so that was fun.
Ah,
Oh, what can you do? I need to be more careful. But we are here to talk about video games, so let's do that.
yes.
So, what did you get to play this week?
Well, I got to play Spyro the Reignite trilogy.
Oh, so how is that? Is it as good as you remember?
uh, I'd say it's even better now with the updated visuals and compared to the older games.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the games look like what I imagined them to be back when I was a child. That's how good they look. And man, Toys for Bob, they have done an excellent job remaking these three games.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah, it is. And fortunately, Activision did not taint it, which is good.
They did not what it?
Taint it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. 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 The game actually has cheat codes in it from the original three games. So.
Oh, do you still remember them? Did you still remember those?
A few of them, but yeah, they didn't try and make those into microtransactions or some crap like that. So good on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, them Toys for Bob remaking these three games, you can tell a lot of time, passion, and love has went into all three games.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a fan of platformers, or if you have a child that you want to introduce them to a great game series,
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend this.
I'm so glad they didn't screw this up. This had so much of a chance of just, them updating graphics, and that's all they did to it. But from what I'm looking, they actually took some care with it. Like, even the physics engine seems to be a bit better. Not like stuff behaves differently, but, jumping seems more smoother. Animations are smoother. So, yeah, yes. I'm very glad they did this.
Yeah. And it only costs $40 for 3 games.
There's that word, only. $40 is not that cheap. It may be cheap in America, but whenever you go outside of the Western world, $40 is quite a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to keep that in mind. And that's the reason why piracy is bigger in countries that are poorer. It's not because the people are jerks, it's just the games are more expensive for them.
Yeah. I will say that there's one huge caveat with this game, though.
Yeah.
And that is, if you buy the game on disc, you only get the first game. You have to go and download the other 2.
Okay. Oh, could that be like spacing issues? Just not enough space on the disc?
Yeah.
How large were the downloads for the other games?
Me personally, I bought mine digital, so I downloaded the entire game just in one go.
Do you remember how big was it?
Yeah, 6 or 7 gigs. So yeah, I do think it was a spacing issue.
Yeah, it does still suck if you like have shitty internet wherever you live, as you do.
I don't.
Oh, you do compared to people with really good internet.
Yeah, really get quick. My internet is pretty fast too, so faster than what it used to be. So
yeah, but if I like imagine downloading 70 gigs of a, well, let's face it, a kids game on, let's say, my parents' internet. Oh God, why no? Please. That would be like a 3-day download there.
For me, the 7 gig download only took around like 40 minutes to finish.
Yeah, for me here, it would be like, I think 20 minutes, I guess. But if I went to my parents, it would literally take days because their internet is just abysmal.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people with really shitty internet around the globe, so there's that thing.
And in a way, I wish they might have to cut down on cost, go figure. But I wish they would have instead of like having the first game on disc and having to download the other two, it would have been nice if they would have had the other 2 games on 2 separate discs to alleviate people with slow internet.
I think personally, I think they could have even released each of the games separately, but have each of them cost $10, and then I think I could recommend it. But for $40, it's a bit too much for me personally. But everybody has to value their own money in their own way.
Yeah. Yeah, and part of mine is nostalgia, so.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to the next game I played. Game is called The Plague. And I've talked about this one in last week's recommendations. Based on the description, it's a true FPS action game set in a medieval-themed fiction world. Online multiplayer, pretty much only. It doesn't have like a campaign or anything. I should mention I got this game for free from the developer. But I don't think that will matter that much because I'm going to be mostly criticizing this. So, this obviously is trying to be chivalry. It's the same thing. You are a medieval fighter and you fight in arenas. And for what's it worth, if chivalry didn't exist, I think I would be really impressed with this game. But with chivalry existing already, chivalry does everything this game does, but better. This game is a bit more thematically engaged, I would say. It has more classes that are more interesting, as like a plague doctor, these sort of things. And these classes are fun, but they aren't optimized that well. So my biggest problem is that, so there are in total, if I remember correctly, it's either 8 or 9 classes in the game. I think if the devs focused on 3, 4 tops, the game would have just been in a much better state. Because as you play, most of the classes seem sort of same-ish, even though they're like super different theoretically. You just use your ranged weapon until you're depleted in ammo, and then you go into melee range until you die, so you can have some more ammo for your ranged weapon. The one thing I did really appreciate is the fact that you can use fire to like burn down buildings. That was really cool. But I don't think I can really recommend this. So let's actually check. So right now it has 6 reviews that are positive, 1 that is negative. I don't know. I think I would give this game a bit more time, honestly. It's still in early access. It's not priced that high.
Okay.
It's 16.79 euros at the moment. So $20. I think that's like a good price. The problem is this game will be really bad if it doesn't get a community. it's a purely online game, and a purely online game without a community is boring. So unless you have like a party of friends, like 8, 10 friends that all want to play this and you're already bored with Chivalry, wait a moment, see how well this goes. There have also been some weird graphical bugs in the game from what I saw. I didn't see any physics bugs though, so that's good. But seriously, just give it a bit of time. If it catches on, try it out. If it doesn't, stay away because you will just be wasting your money. Okay, what else did you play?
I was also playing a bit of a Tetris Effect.
Ooh, okay, I want to hear more about that because I fucking love Tetris.
Well, you'll love this game even more. Of course, you know it's Tetris, but the the more you progress in the level, the faster the blocks go, the more effects that you see in the background, and even blocks stop falling to the beat of a certain song in each level. So there's that. Unfortunately, though, I've not had a chance to play in VR yet.
So I'm looking at the trailer of this. Honestly, I don't think I will be ever able to play this. This game looks like it would induce a seizure in about 27 seconds.
Luckily for me, I've not had one yet, so.
Yeah, good for you. I've had a few, so not from life though. So maybe I would be okay, but still, like if I imagine, because I'm not the best in Tetris by any means, but I do know the basic tactics. I can play until like level 17 in regular Tetris. Then I started losing because it just started going too fast. But this game seriously looks like, well, in 5 minutes I would have a seizure. Does it have a warning about seizures?
Yeah, it actually does. It actually does.
That doesn't surprise me.
In fact, the warning says it will induce seizures to even people that have not had history with seizures. So.
So probably the best idea to play this if I'm myself.
Yeah, knock on wood. I'm lucky I've not had one because of this game yet, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's Tetris. Is there like any new mechanics put into it? Something cool hidden?
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but it's like this meter that you can fill up. At the higher your score gets, you can like slow down time to like start stacking up blocks a lot quicker, and get a higher score. So
interesting. That seems like a cool mechanic, actually. Not something pro players would enjoy because they like the pure experience, but something for the casuals for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I did play one more game this week. I played only a little bit of this one. It's Underworld Ascendant. So, again, you might remember this one. This is the game from creators of System Shock and a few other really, really famous games. And it's a stealth RPG for the most part. And as of this point, I am unconvinced. So I played about an hour and a half, I would say. So again, not that much. But even the reviews on Steam are quite disappointing, I would say. Yeah, and so for example, this first one from BB4H Nickel III, I pretty much, I agree with him. So movement feels sloppy. You never feel like you're in precise control, and that I feel is just really important for a stealth game. Second one, I think, is more of a bug than anything else. Whenever you're like the teeniest bit in water, like literally you put your thumb into the water, the game already thinks you're swimming.
Huh.
And the swimming is goddamn awful. And there's nothing like diving. This game could have had so much diving as a cool mechanic. Sadly, it doesn't have that. I managed to walk through some of the objects in the game, so some technical issues already.
Wow.
Otherwise, it's not bad. It's a game about putting out lights and trying to walk quietly and like making noises on the other side of the room so you can get to the tile you need to get to. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm just sad. Like, I really had so much high hopes for this thing. This is just not it. So far, if I want to play a stealth action game with good graphics, I'm gonna go back to Styx. It was Styx Shard of Darkness, I think. Yeah, Styx Shard of Darkness, and I really enjoyed the shit out of that one. I'm sorry. It looks great. It plays rather well. It's not that long, and it's quite a lot more costly. It costs $40 for Styx, but seriously, if you're looking for a stealth adventure game, Styx should be your option. And there are some sales coming out, so hopefully it's going to be included in one of those.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Hopefully they can fix Underworld Ascendant. I think it still has a lot of potential. It just doesn't feel right at this time. Okay, anything else you played this week?
No, how about you?
No, those were the only 2 games I got to play. I wanted to try a few more. I didn't get to it. I might actually play some games from this week for next week, because next week isn't that hot in terms of games.
Yeah.
So hopefully I will get to do something with that. Then let's switch on to the news. Let's start by talking about Nintendo's settlement with shutting down ROM hosting sites. So this is actually a continuation of a story we did this summer about loveroms.com and loveretro.co, who were ROM hosting websites, and Nintendo pretty much forced them to shut down. And now it seems that the owners will have to pay $12.2 million in a settlement. That's quite a lot of money. We should also say that the judge has not yet signed the settlement. And there are some rumors going around that the defendants, which is Jacob and Christian Matthias from Arizona, agreed to this, well, let's face it, rather high amount of money without actually being forced to pay the money. It's essentially like, yeah, you will have to pay us some money, but we want to tell the world that you had to pay us this exuberant sum of money just so people start hosting ROMs. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the story. So, what do you think of this? Could it be just a ruse?
You know, I think it could be, because this really clearly does send a message to other ROM hosting sites saying, hey, if you have Nintendo ROMs on your site, Nintendo will come after you. So this clearly does send a message to all those sites.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Nintendo did probably lose a decent chunk of money because of the ROM hosting, with the fact that they do have the classic editions of their old consoles. So,
yeah.
On the other hand, I could see them asking as much money as they asked, but Yeah, $12 million for like 50-year-old pieces of software. It does seem to be a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I will say though, uh, on the side of the ROM sites,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, of course, what they're doing is illegal, but they're also preserving older games that they don't have companies anymore, and their licenses are up in the air. So
Yeah, luckily we did get a new. It wasn't a law; it was an exception from the law for archiving and museum
yeah,
purposes of older
yeah,
games
we
this
talked about
year. So,
yeah, we talked about the last week, didn't we?
yeah, but the thing is, if you have, I think it was 2 weeks ago, but I don't want to be mistaken. But the thing is, if there is a company who is still taking care of these games, yeah, technically they are in the right. I really hate American copyright law. You just protect stuff for way too long, and you can all blame it on Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, 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 and who knows? Nintendo might not bring bring those games that are in the classic editions of their consoles. You might not use those for another 10, 20 years. So
Or ever, technically.
yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic. This one is much more positive. So, a hacker, or more specifically, a white hacker, was paid $20,000 by Valve because he discovered a critical Steam security flaw. So, first of all, I should probably explain what a white hacker is. White hacker is a hacker who does positive things with his discoveries. He doesn't exploit them. He goes to the companies who have some security flaws in their software or services, and he tells them all about them. And apparently one of them, named Artem Moskovsky, actually found a way to generate all the Steam keys he ever wanted. Like, no questions asked. He could have downloaded every single game in the Steam library. He could have gotten thousands of keys and sold them. He did none of that. He went to Valve and he was rewarded $20,000 for what he did. He said to the Register, this bug was discovered randomly during their exploration of the functionality of a web application. It could have been used by any attacker who had access to the portal. To exploit the vulnerability, it was necessary to make only one request. I managed to bypass the verification of ownership of the game by changing only one parameter. After that, I could enter any ID into other parameter and get any set of keys. So, first of all, I think here's a pretty obvious statement. Good.
Yeah.
We need more hackers like this.
Yeah, we do.
On one hand, I am really sad about one thing.
What's that?
I wish he just got like an unlimited supply of games forever.
That would have been awesome.
You know, because he had the chance to have that. Valve, yeah, they should have given like, I don't know, 10 grand and just for the rest of your life, your Steam account has access to any game for free.
Dang.
And
that would be something.
Yeah, it would just be so thematically fitting. So, you got anything to say about this? Or do we move on?
Just yeah. It's good that he didn't exploit this. He brought it to Valve, and hey, he got reward for it. So
I will be honest with you. I don't think I would have been as good of a man as he is. I will not lie. I think I would have gotten some games I really wanted, but it was just like, you know what I would have gotten? I would have gotten Pixel Game Maker MV. It's like $120, and I'm still like, I really want
dang.
it. Yeah, let's actually check the price on it right now. It's like, I really want it, but it's just so pricey, and I really don't know if I can make something cool with it. So, Pixel Game Maker. Oh, so it's 71.99 euros. How much is that in USD? I think it's like 90? 82. It's 82 bucks, but that's still quite pricey. It's not like it's... I think it's priced fairly for what it is. It's a software to allow you to make games without needing to know programming. But man, 80 bucks just for something I want to try out and am not sure I will really use it. And it still lacks one critical feature I'm waiting for. It still doesn't allow you to export for Android and iOS. Which I'm really saddened by, because Pixel games just could work so well, and it could allow... Like, I can imagine like a school buying this license, you know, like buying a license and just teaching their kids to make games, like teaching them the logic without needing to learn them programming. But most of kids play on cell phones.
Yeah.
So sadly, that's not really an option. Okay, let's return to the news. Let's talk about the next piece of news. Another great piece of news. Devil May Cry is coming to our big screens, or middle-sized screens to be more specific. So it's going to be a TV series, and it's coming from Eddie Shankar, the creator of Castlevania.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say to this. There's one thing I'm really surprised. It seems that both Castlevania and Devil May Cry will start to form their own multiverse. And I'm just sitting here and like, but why?
Yeah, really.
Apparently it's going to be called the Bootleg Multiverse, at least for the moment. Probably with time it's going to get a better name, I'm going to say. But why would you do this?
Yeah, really.
Like, I could understand if Bethesda went and made Fallout TV series, and then would be one about Vault 7, one about Vault 14, one about Vault 287,424. That would make sense as a multiverse. But yeah. Devil May Cry and Castlevania together?
Yeah, really.
Like, what do you even put there later on?
I do not know. What's even more, to me, what's even more baffling is Castlevania is a Konami property, while Devil May Cry is a Capcom property, so... makes me curious what's going on behind the scenes to actually allow this.
So apparently Shankar bought the rights to Devil May Cry personally. He had a great statement. He said, "So the jabronis in Hollywood don't fuck this one up too." So maybe that's the reason why it's allowed to be in a multiverse? Because he is the owner of the rights? And yeah, he's really funny. Sadly, we do not know any dates on this, nor we do know whether it's going to come through Netflix or a TV station, though I'm going to assume it's going to come through Netflix.
Yeah, hopefully it'll come through Netflix.
You just like binge watching, yeah?
And also, Netflix, they don't, they... On a streaming service, there's a lot less restrictions on what you can show, Yeah,
that's true.
Whereas, and also, both seasons of the Castlevania series are excellent adaptations of the source material. So,
hopefully he doesn't screw up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next piece of news. This one will be mostly covered by you. Sony will not be attending E3 2019. So, well, tell us what we need to know.
Well, of course, so Sony is skipping E3 this coming up year, which will be the first time in 24 years since E3 first started that they're not presenting there. And of course, there's speculation that they might do a reveal event for the PS5 next year, or what Sony has stated that they want to try and do new and familiar things to engage with their fans. So they most definitely they could have their own event before or after E3.
So you think PS5 will be coming next year?
Could be a possibility.
I just take this as a confirmation that it's not coming for next year. Like, no. That E3 is such a big event. If they had a PS5, they would not dare to skip it. It's just so much press that you would miss on.
Yeah, but I'll say this though. If they had their own like an E3, like press or like scattered throughout all these different announcements, like Microsoft's announcements, Nintendo's announcements, Sony's announcements. Whereas if they like did their own event outside of E3, like that's far away from it or before E3.
I'm not saying they couldn't make. I'm not saying they couldn't make a specific event launching PS5, but
or announce
that would be on top of E3. They would have an event that would just announce PS5, announce the specs, announce some new services, those kind of things. Maybe like few games. But E3 would be where they would announce the majority of the games coming for PS5, I think.
Honestly, though, my opinion, I love E3, but in this day and age, E3 is slowly dying.
Oh, all conventions are because people live more and more digital.
Yeah.
But it's still, let's face it, the biggest gaming event of the year. So, yeah. I think if they had it, they would still come there. I don't think they have PS5 ready for presentation for 2019. The earliest I'm expecting it is 2020.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next piece of news. This one will be quick. Command & Conquer is getting remastered editions. More specifically, it's the original Command & Conquer that's going to be rebranded as Tiberian Dawn. And Command & Conquer Red Alert are going to be remastered as first. We only have a confirmation that it's going to be done. There's no work being done at this given time, so we will have to wait some time. But I will have to tell my dad, because Command & Conquer games were one of the things he fucking loved.
Huh.
So yeah, it's going to be a 4K remaster. Hopefully they manage to do it as well as Spyro managed to do it.
Yeah, hopefully.
I so much hope they don't try to mess with the mechanics. Because if yes, people will be pissed.
Yeah, unfortunately, just like me with Spyro Reignite Trilogy with Activision and Twister Bomb, before they showed the game off, I had low expectations for it. I was like, oh, it's being published by Activision, they're going to screw it up. But surprisingly, they didn't. And hopefully, EA can do the same. Hopefully.
Yeah, trusting EA, huh? No. 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 Okay, let's move on to the last piece of news. We have a few celebrities, more specifically the actor from Scrubs, Donald Faison. If you don't know, he played Dr. Turk on the show, and a rapper named 2 Milli, which I never heard about, are quite displeased with their dances being used in a Fortnite. And I really understand them, honestly. So let's first talk about Mr. Faison. So if you don't know, he made one of the most iconic Fortnite dances, and he seriously created the dance on the spot during the show. It was like, we need you to dance, and he just did the dance. He hasn't seen like a single buck from it, and he is obviously not happy with it, because when he was asked to perform the dance, he said, if you want to see it, you can play Fortnite because they jacked that shit. So yeah, he wasn't really happy. And the rapper 2 Milli, whose Swipe It emote is in the game, which is based on her Milli Rock dance, she's actually considering suing Epic. Mostly because they're selling that move. He said they actually sell that particular move. It's for purchase. That's when I was really like, oh nah, this can't go on too long. So yeah, there's a good chance he will be suing. I don't think Mr. Faison will be suing as well. He seems more like just pissed. But seriously, these guys should have gotten some royalties. This is like the most obvious. Like, yeah, this is their property. They made it. Though maybe with Mr. Faze, there could be some Faison. There could be some argument made that it's not his property; it's the property of Scrubs. But still, it's not Epic's, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So, any opinion on this one, or do you just agree that Epic screwed the pooch here?
Oh yeah, they did screw the pooch, but we'll just have to wait and see if this does go to court. Just to wait and see how it turns out.
If it does, we will definitely report on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it for the news, unless you have something you would like to add.
No.
Then let's go into the last section. Let's talk about interesting games for next week. So, did you find anything really interesting?
Yeah. Warframe has come to the Switch tomorrow. Of course, it's Warframe, but now you can play it portably on your Switch, and it's free to play. So, if you have yet to play Warframe, and you have a Switch, I highly recommend this.
I would still prefer to play this on PC. Because shooting and consoles, I don't think go together.
To me, they go great together.
It's just, maybe I'm spoiled, but just mouse controls for first-person shooters is so much more better.
I've actually tried mouse controls on first shooters before. I was like, nope, going back to controller.
Yeah, I think it's about what you get used to first.
Yeah.
Okay, my first recommendation is a game called The Kite, and this is a small point-and-click adventure game with a really, really thematic graphics. Looks like a noir, but drawn, and yeah, I like sometimes something a bit noir. The graphics, while not like super high fidelity, they just are oozing with atmosphere. I'm hoping the game will be good, even though I will not play this because I don't want to play another point-and-click adventure game. But for anybody who is a fan, yeah, this just looks great. And the game highlights the problems of an unsuccessful family. And I don't think that's a topic that's touched on in gaming enough. Let's be clear about that. So I think if you're looking for something more down to earth, something that is not only there to entertain you, but also to allow you to give you a bit of empathy. The kite actually looks pretty great. It's coming out on the first. On next week. It should be coming on the 21st. Hopefully, it's good.
Okay.
Okay. What do you have to recommend next?
Next up I have a game called Gungrave VR, which is coming to PS4 tomorrow.
So what is it? It's a VR game, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a VR revitalization of the Gungrave series that released back on the PS2 over a decade ago. And I'm not too familiar with the series, but it looks really interesting.
I don't know. When I'm looking at the trailer, it looks like somewhat stalish. Like you're not moving enough. Like you can just stand in one place and shoot.
Yeah, thankfully, from what I heard, the VR doesn't require you to move around the room. It's more for like people that don't have a lot of space to play. You just have a controller, you look around, you shoot at enemies without having to worry about hitting your surroundings.
So it's like a lightweight rail shooter, I guess. Yeah.
But from what I heard about the Japanese version of it that released 8 months ago, I've heard it's pretty good. So.
Okay. My second game to recommend is called. Okay, let me start my German. Das Geisterschiff. I think that means the ghost ship. Yeah, that means the ghost ship. And it's a cyberpunk dungeon crawler where you play as a mecha pilot working for one of the mega corporations. It's launching on the 24th. And again, it has really stylized graphics. A lot of red. Like, if you don't like red, don't play this game. It's a turn-based game. I don't think, I personally will play it. But if you like dungeon crawlers, if you like the cyberpunk theme, this might totally be your thing. Okay, anything else you have to recommend?
Last stuff I'd like to recommend is Bandy and the Ink Machine is coming to consoles tomorrow as well. From what I've seen, it's a horror-based game based around an old solid cartoon character. And I've heard it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, this actually, I've heard good things from my friends about it. I usually get bored while playing horror games. But I do like the graphics on this. They're like super stylized.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, and my last game I would like to recommend. This is a game that's not really a game. I know, that sounds weird. This thing is called Quiet as a Stone. And let me just read the description. Remake the world in this minimalistic, slow game for casual creators. Discover a long-lost history. Create your own scenes. Explore atmospheric countryside vignettes. Sit by campfires. Relaxing ambient soundscapes with satisfying interactions. Extensive photography mode. Embrace impermanence. So from what I gathered, this actually isn't much of a game. It's just a game to create some beautiful vistas, take some pretty pictures, and just enjoy some nice things you created. So if you're looking for something just to do, that would almost look like you know those Zen gardens.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that for a computer. So yeah. Quiet as a Stone is coming on the 20th. Sadly, we do not know the price. I'm hoping this thing is not expensive, because if it is, it's gonna fail spectacularly. And that's it for the recommendations first week. And that brings us to the end of the show. So we're going to do the thing we do always. We're going to shill. I'm going to go first if you don't mind. You can find me on Kralizec Gaming on YouTube, where I make video game reviews and occasional commentaries, and on Steemit at Kralizec, where you can find my science article, my gaming articles, and occasional commentaries.
You can find me on YouTube at Tygergamer. You can find me on Steemit at Tygergamer. And right now I'm doing a Let's Play on all three of the Spyro Reignited trilogy, so...
Okay, and with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. We both hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Steemit, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment, and be sure to tune in next time for more interesting gaming news. See you guys later with more gaming content.
Yeah, have a good one.